Vikings, let's win the game!
Attention Vikings fans, get ready because today's episode is packed with spectacular news. The Minnesota Vikings and safety Josh Metellus have finally reached an agreement. Get all the details and figures on the contract extension that promises to bolster the defense for more seasons. Next up is another deal in the works. The rumor mill is buzzing about a strategic move that could further solidify the defensive front. Don't miss the early standouts from training camp, where two veterans are shining and poised to turn expectations into reality. And to wrap things up, an emotional farewell to a player Kevin O'Connell called the heart and soul of the team, leaving behind a legacy of leadership and passion, with heartfelt statements from teammates following his retirement announcement. You won't want to miss a single detail. Welcome. Show your Viking support by reaching 100 thumbs up on today's video. When it comes to consistency, tenacity, and an almost ever-present presence on the field, Josh Metellus takes the spotlight. The blockbuster news of the day is that this incredible defender just signed a 3-year contract extension with the Minnesota Vikings, securing his spot on the team through the 2028 season. The excitement is huge, as we're talking about a deal worth around $36 million, with the potential to reach up to $42 million. Metellus, who dazzled everyone last season with his unique ability to play multiple positions in the defense, proves his strategic importance to the team, especially now as we face the possible final season of Harrison Smith and the recent departure of Cameron Bynum. Hailing from Michigan, selected in the 6th round in 2020, Metellus was a dominant figure on special teams. However, in recent years, he's evolved into a cornerstone of Brian Flores' defensive strategy. Metellus's previous contract, signed before the 2023 season, was a 2-year deal that put him on the radar as a full-time impact player for the first time. And what a grand entrance. Since then, he hasn't just met expectations, he's exceeded them, coming off a standout season where his versatility was clutch, whether blitzing, stopping the run, or covering passes. With $25 million guaranteed, this contract extension isn't just a vote of confidence in Metellus's elite athletic ability, but also a clear signal from the Vikings front office that he's seen as a leader on and off the field. Metellus's ability to adapt to different game scenarios embodies exactly the kind of player Flores loves to have in his scheme, a true defensive Swiss Army knife. While speaking to the press, Metellus expressed his joy and renewed commitment to the team. "I love being here. I love what we've built over the last 3 years, and I plan to keep giving everything I've got," Josh said, reflecting on his journey with the team and his desire to remain a Viking for the rest of his career. This extension not only secures a defensive pillar for the coming seasons, but also sends a strong message about the Vikings' ambitions to retain their most valuable players and keep building a tough, resilient defense. The next piece of news is a question on the minds of many fans and analysts. Are the Vikings really in the running to sign another defensive tackle? After the recent release of Christian Wilkins by the Las Vegas Raiders, rumors are swirling about renewed interest from the Minnesota Vikings in the talented defensive tackle. Let's recall that Wilkins, drafted by the Miami Dolphins as the 13th overall pick in 2019, initially landed a hard-to-resist offer from the Raiders, a 4-year contract valued at an impressive $110 million. However, due to complications from a foot injury, his time with the Raiders ended abruptly, opening the door to new opportunities. Wilkins' situation became complicated when the Raiders decided to terminate his contract after a disagreement over the need for surgery. Now a free agent, Wilkins is reigniting hopes and expectations. But the question remains, are the Vikings willing to take a chance on Wilkins, who may still be recovering from a foot fracture? It's worth noting that Brian Flores, now leading the Vikings defense, was the head coach of the Dolphins during Wilkins' rookie season in the NFL. This connection could hint at mutual interest in a reunion in Minnesota. However, with the recent additions of Jonathan Allen and Javon Hargrave to bolster the interior defensive line, the Vikings have already shown their intent to strengthen that area. The implications of bringing Wilkins to the team are mixed. On one hand, his skill and potential are undeniable. He's a formidable athlete with the ability to transform games. On the other hand, his recent injury history and the controversy surrounding his recovery and treatment raise valid questions about the feasibility of investing in a player who may still be physically compromised. Due diligence from the Vikings management will be critical in this decision. Pursuing a signing like this could offer a high reward, but the risk is far from trivial. The situation also sparks a strong emotional response from the fan base, who are eager to see how the team will approach this potential addition to an already impressive defensive roster. So, we're left wondering, will Wilkins be a bold move for the Vikings, or a risk they'd rather avoid? The answer to that question could shape not only Wilkins' comeback, but also the trajectory of the 2025 season. But hold on, because the next piece of news involves an even more thrilling situation. As the Minnesota Vikings 2025 training camp rolls on, all eyes are on the rookies and veterans battling for a spot on the roster. Among the 90 players, excluding a few sidelined by injuries, some are already standing out, promising to shake up the final roster. Among the standouts, 2 veterans signed on budget-friendly deals are exceeding expectations and could become key pieces. Rondale Moore, a receiver who's shown great promise in the past, seems to have found his groove. After missing a season due to a knee injury, Moore arrived at camp ready to compete, catching everyone by surprise. His presence on the field was immediately noticed by observers and offensive coordinator Wes Phillips, who praised his explosiveness and speed during plays. Rondale's got some serious burst off the line, which we expected from a player of his caliber. But seeing him overcome obstacles and handle the technical details in real time is genuinely exciting, Phillips commented. With the top trio of receivers, Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, and Jalen Nailor, already locked in, Moore has the skill to complement them perfectly, taking on a vital role in the rotation and adding depth to the group, especially in short-yardage slot plays. On the defensive side, Jeff Okudah is another name reigniting his career under Brian Flores' guidance. After a roller coaster journey marked by injuries since being selected as the 3rd overall pick in 2020 by the Detroit Lions, Okudah is emerging as a strong contender for a starting cornerback spot. His performance on the field is turning heads, showing he still has the skills that initially marked him as an elite talent. The defensive backfield is taking shape, and with veterans Stephon Gilmore and Shaq Griffin out, Okudah has a golden opportunity to prove himself. His training camp performances suggest he's not only physically recovered but also mentally ready to tackle challenges, giving the team a solid option in the secondary. As camp progresses, the promise of these players revitalizing their careers and potentially the team's performance creates an atmosphere of high anticipation. It'll be crucial to keep a close eye on these stories of redemption and resurgence at Vikings camp. And now for news that caught everyone, players and fans alike, by surprise. A moment of reflection and gratitude marked the recent retirement announcement of Jordan Hicks, the former Minnesota Vikings linebacker. At 33 years old, Hicks decided to end his football journey, a career filled with dedication, leadership, and unforgettable moments on the field. Drafted in the 3rd round by the Philadelphia Eagles in 2015, Hicks was a key part of the team that won the Super Bowl in 2018. After impactful stints with the Arizona Cardinals, and more recently the Vikings, Hicks chose this moment to hang up his cleats. During his time in Minnesota, in a season marked by a cultural transformation under head coach Kevin O'Connell, Hicks was described as the heart and soul of the defense. In his farewell message, Jordan Hicks expressed deep gratitude for all that football gave him. After 23 years playing football, I'm announcing my retirement from the NFL today. This sport taught me about purpose, discipline, and brotherhood, while showing me who I am off the field. I'm grateful for every lesson, challenge, and victory. The news sparked a wave of support and tributes from teammates and fans. CJ Ham, the Vikings fullback, shared his affection. "Love you, brother. It was a joy to share the field and locker room with you." Josh Metellus, also a safety and Vikings captain, and Alexander Madison, former running back, joined the chorus of praise and gratitude for Hicks's impact and legacy. Football is a sport of immense physical and emotional intensity, and the decision to retire is never easy, especially for someone who was at the center of the action and leadership like Jordan Hicks. However, his retirement doesn't just mark the end of an era, it signals the start of a new chapter for him, full of possibilities and new adventures, as he noted in his message. This is a moment for fans and admirers of the game to reflect on the impact a player can have on and off the field. Jordan Hicks left his mark, not just through tackles or interceptions, but through the integrity, leadership, and passion he brought to every game. We'd do well to remember and celebrate his career as he moves forward into the next phase of his life with the same courage and dedication that defined him as one of the team's greats. It's been a day full of big updates, from the gritty Josh Metellus's contract extension, locking him in as a defensive stronghold, to the possibility of Christian Wilkins joining, whose talent is undeniable but comes with uncertainties. We've also seen emerging promise at training camp, with standouts like Rondale Moore and Jeff Okudah ready to revitalize their careers and make a deep impact on the Vikings roster. Finally, the dignified retirement of Jordan Hicks, whose leadership and passion for the game left a lasting mark on us all. Which piece of news caught your attention the most, and what other moves does the team still need to make? Your passion, energy, and loyalty are the heartbeat of Vikings Nation. So, let's keep that energy going. share this video, drop a comment, and hit that subscribe button for all the latest Vikings updates. Stay tuned. SKOL Vikings, let's go!